Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour. I'm Royce Fletcher Thomason. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you today. We're at a little bit of a different time today than typically we are. I've been sharing for a little while now that I've been praying on moving possibly to a different time. So we have been coming here for the last year. Well, at least since April of last year, at the 1 p.m. Eastern time uh, on Wednesday afternoons, and we're actually now moving over to a different time. At that time, COVID was new; everybody was at home. We selected Wednesday because there is a certain healing quality to the day of Wednesday. And so we were doing that in the middle of the day, actually during the week. Things have opened up. A lot of people are out and about a lot more, actually physically at work. And so I had been praying about moving to a different time, so people would have an opportunity to be able to come on and join. And then I've made some adjustments within my own schedule. And so we're here today at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And starting next week, we'll be switching the day from Wednesday to Sunday, actually. So I'll have to come up with a different name as opposed to the Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour. And by the way, I hope that you all can actually even hear me. If somebody can please jot in the chat if you can actually hear me, if you can jot that in the comments, I'd really appreciate that. I definitely want to know that you all can actually hear me if you can. I realize it's on a little bit of a delay, but hopefully you'll hear me say this and we'll be able to respond. Hey, yes, we can in fact hear you. So that I definitely would appreciate that if you could do me that solid. Okay, Melanie Ivy. Hey, Melanie. So good to see you. Armithia, good to see you as well. Okay, all right. So I was just saying that I've been really praying on whether to move the Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour. It is going to be moved. So as it were, last Wednesday will have been our last Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing this today at 5 o'clock, and then we won't be doing it this Sunday, and we won't have Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour next Wednesday, but the next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday, which I believe will be the 11th, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the 11th, because this Sunday is Easter Sunday, the 4th. And the following Sunday will be the 11th. Yes. So starting next Sunday, the 11th, will be Sunday at 1 p.m. for the lives. So we come here to offer some sense of hope, some sense of encouragement. We want to put good vibes just out into the atmosphere, right? We look at areas where there may be some shadows and shine some light there. We look at areas where we've cut off and there's maybe been areas of darkness showing up and may manifest in different areas of our lives. It may show up in terms of physical health states. It may show up in the body temple in the form of physical pain, or it can show up in different life situations, undesirable life situations. So there are a variety of ways that areas that are going on within our beingness, right? Within our beingness, where we have essentially taken on something about ourselves that isn't true. We have somehow aligned our thought life, our belief system, our perspectives with something that is not in alignment with the divine blueprint according to which we were designed, right? Okay. And so in traditional Christianity, there's this term called sin. And there's a lot that we put on that term, but really in essence what it is that they're just ways that we're missing the mark. Okay, that we're missing the mark of who it is we are, what it is that we have been called to be. That in terms of what we take in or what we kind of program into ourselves based on perhaps external things that we've allowed to come in, that we've created stories about ourselves that are not necessarily empowering stories, but stories that actually really are counter to what's actually real and true. Okay, this is part of the human condition, by the way. It's not something that any of us should feel ashamed of, although the shame itself is a manifestation of a shadow, an area where there's light being shined, and then there's another area that's hidden, and the shadow exists there. And sometimes that's a blind spot for us, things that we don't necessarily recognize or don't necessarily see. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't have them too, because I most certainly do. Like I said, it's part of the human condition. And our journey through life is hopefully along this life journey, we begin to recognize that there are some things that we have taken on as true that were not true. There's some things that we've taken on about ourselves, our perception of ourselves, our perception of others, our perception of the greater world in which we live, that are not actually aligned with divine truth, that are not actually aligned with love, that are not actually aligned with the will and the wisdom and the way of God. And so hopefully along our life journeys, we develop the courage to face some of those things that may have been unresolved trauma, face some of those things that may have been things that we have no conscious awareness necessarily of. It could have been passed down from one generation to the next within the context of just our ancestral lineage. There are things that exist on very, very subtle levels that many of us have no idea or no clue about. Things that are planted deep within the subconscious layers of our consciousness, and those end up being manifest in outward ways in the living of our lives, right? And so the idea, the goal is to welcome in, to usher in, to invoke, to receive the awareness of the presence of the light of God's love into those places where we've cut ourselves off, where we felt unworthy, where we've felt in some way or another disconnected. And a lot of times, and I'm saying the word that we felt disconnected and other unworthy types of feelings, I say that kind of with the awareness that those things are going on inside of us, though we may or may not actually consciously feel them, right? So a lot of times, you know, somebody asks you how you doing. I know that I have been guilty of this in the past. Somebody asks you how you doing. What's your typical response? I'm fine, right? Fine is the most common response to the question, how are you? There may be some variation on that. I'm cool. I'm good. We may even answer and then quickly pose the question back to the person who asked the question. I'm fine. How are you? And then they tell us the same thing that we just told them. Now, the reality is that on some level, we may be fine. And yes, at the same time, on some level, there might be some stuff that's going on that just in the context of communicating with the company, we might not necessarily feel like going into. Maybe we even want to go into it, but don't think that we actually have a safe space where we can actually give voice to it, or we may have the idea that the person really doesn't care. There are a lot of things that could be going on behind that. The reality is that there are a lot of times that there are things that are going on beneath the surface, things that are going on that are not so fine, right? And the idea is that we surrender those areas, not deny that they exist, but that we truly surrender those areas to the warmth in the light of God's love. Okay? There is a thing that is in the Bible that is incredibly powerful. And whether or not most people realize it, it is really the essence of the whole text of the entire biblical record. Now I'm using that context, and this is in both the Old Testament and the New Testament. In the New Testament, this fellow was asking Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? And he said, "Hear, you, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord our God is one. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second one is basically just about the same. Love your neighbor as yourself." Now, in that, first of all, there's a whole lot of not loving that's made manifest in the living out of life on the third D plane of planet Earth by human beings, right? It's the real deal of what goes on here. But we do have this, even when we are thinking about and focusing on loving God and loving other people, there's some key pieces that we miss. And I'm saying this as a person who has missed it too, and who still also works on it. And that is, in essence, realizing that who we really are at our core is an expression of the peace and the power and the purity of God. And that there is a deep, 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 deep love that we are really all called to have for ourselves. And that isn't a love that excludes others, but that includes others. Because at its core, and I've said this a lot of times before, that we're all a drop of water from the ocean of God. That we're all a drop of water from the ocean of God. No drop of water is the entire ocean, but every single drop of water contains all the properties of the ocean within it. And every single drop of water is one with the ocean, and therefore all of the other drops of water that are in that ocean. And in a similar way, just as you and I are, we all carry the divine spark within us. We all are expressions of the divine. The reality is that we are all really connected. And I sometimes put this on here, that we are all one people. We indeed are all one people. We might look different, sound different, talk different, worship different, believe different, love different. There are a lot of differences. There's a lot of diversity in our unity. The key is that we don't let that distract us from the fact that we really are one. And the beauty of that is that it allows some beautiful things to happen. We have, during Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour, had people who are very far away in distance, physical distance, who've been able to actually receive healing during this time of these broadcasts, because we are all one. What is going on here? You and I are connected. How are we connected? Because we all exist within the ocean. Okay, we all exist within the ocean of God, and there's no spot where God is not, right? Okay, now I just want to check in with you all real quickly, and because my intent is not really to be preaching today. I'm gonna say that for Sunday. My intention is to offer some healing. If anybody is dealing with any type of health issue or anything, any physical pain in your body temple, we're happy to provide that service. And the fact that it might seem outlandish that I could be sitting in my home and you could be sitting in your home many miles away, hundreds or even thousands of miles away, and some physical change take place, well, depending on how you look at it, that could be kind of far-fetched. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It's happened. I've seen it happen a whole bunch of times, believe me. Um, a whole bunch of times. Anyway, I do want to check in with you all. Let me know how you're doing out there. Um, I'd love to know even where you are in the world, whoever is watching, where it is that you're viewing us from this evening. Also, if you do have any type of health condition, please let us know. We are more than happy to support. Um, and it's not going to hurt you any to let us know, and we'll support. If you don't have anything going on, that's fine too. But there are other options available besides just having to live with pain and sickness and dis-ease for however long, or be stuck on a bunch of medications and things like that. So we're happy to help you. We've seen thousands of medical miracles take place with people all over the world. Excuse me. And you're worthy of that. Miracles, by the way, don't come to those who need them. They come to those who are willing to receive them. That may or may not seem unfair to people depending on where a person is in consciousness, but it is how things were just kind of designed. There are no victims in this world. There have been some people who've gone through some stuff, no doubt. But we're not victims. We are victors. Okay? And our souls might take on some things that other souls may not be so brave as to take on. There's some people who've experienced some horrendous things. But the way that things are designed is not for things to be offered for those who dwell in that sense of victimhood, if I can say that, but for those who are just open to possibilities. Hey, Ruby. Oh, okay. So that's Ruby's account, but not actually Ruby. Okay. Renew, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Alrighty. Okay. Well, hi, Renew. If that is your name, I hope I'm saying it correctly. And if not, please accept my heartfelt apologies for that. Okay, and so you are in. Okay, I'm glad I had your name correct. And so you're in Tennessee as well. Okay, and Renew, do you have anything going on in terms of your health that you're wanting addressed, that you're wanting some support for, whether it's some physical pain or some other health issue, or even mental or emotional well-being? That we don't talk about that necessarily quite as much as we do physical health, but it is certainly every bit as much important. Okay. Melanie, I'm glad that you're doing well today. That you had a good day of cleansing your emotions and it felt great. Okay. Amen. And I shade to that. Okay. So, Renew, you say that you've got lots going on. Feel free to drop it in the chat, and we'll be or in the comments, we'll be more than happy to address it. Like I said, that's something that we definitely do desire to do. Okay. So Renu says lots of issues. Can you kind of share maybe what some of those are, or what one or two of those might be, and we can address that for you? That kind of helps to give us some direction and how we can offer some support. Okay. Now, all right. I see that You're saying health and mental and finances. Can you say something specifically, like in terms of physical health, like what regarding the physical health, or in terms of mental? Are you feeling stress? Are you feeling worried? Are you feeling anxiety or fear or anger in terms of the physical health? Are you dealing with some heart condition or respiratory issues? Is there a growth going on? What specifically is it that that you have going on that that is concerning you, that you'd like to receive some support concerning? And as well, anybody else who might have anything going on. You know, if there's something specific going on, please let us know that. Then we can address the actual specifics of whatever it is that you have going on. Just going to pause for a drink of water. Okay. All righty. Well, hopefully you can jot that down. Or we could possibly I don't know. I'm still through the StreamYard. It's allowing me to post comments into YouTube, but it's not allowing me for some reason to post comments into Facebook. Okay. Okay. So Rena, you said after surgery, your whole body, half of your body, the whole bottom half, excuse me, of your body has basically you've been feeling low energy. I really kind of want to just invite you on, if you'd like to come on, and I can actually bring you on, bring you on camera, or at least bring you on audio. Would you like to do that, by the way? If so, let me know, and I'll just have to set things up where I can actually send that to you. Okay. If you can just tell me if you'd like to come on camera, I can pull you on. Then there wouldn't be the delay either. Okay. All right. Let me. I am going to need to actually. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to have to actually text this to myself. And then I will actually post it in the comments from my phone here. Actually, probably better way than I may have been able to have done this, but let me see if I can pull up the video from my phone. I've been able to have done this, but okay. All right. Hopefully that will show up. Okay. So if you click on that, by the way, you would need to use Chrome. You would need to either use Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. It will not work in Safari, unfortunately. So I don't know if you normally would use Safari or if you normally use Firefox or Chrome anyway. I know that it works in those two for sure, but I know that it also does not for sure work in Safari, which apparently LinkedIn is not working too well with Safari these days either. That's a whole separate note, though. Alrighty. So hopefully you'll be able to click that, and we'll be able to bring you on live and offer you some support and real time. If anybody else has any issues, please also let us know as well. Okay. And okay. I know there are a couple of people who actually have done. Hey, Jennifer, I was just about to speak your name. Blessings to you too. I was literally just about to speak your name. You and Dulcie, I was gonna, both of you all, I was going to mention you all. I just want to offer a reminder that we're going to be having a support session this Monday evening, Monday, April 5th. For people who've actually been through the Transcending the Matrix training. Okay. Oh, Dulcie just messaged you. Cool. All righty. So Jennifer, what I was sharing is the time is actually going to, well, we won't be doing this regularly at on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Eastern. Honestly, it's a little bit of a challenging time for me in terms of my schedule with some other things that I have going on. But actually, going forward, not starting this Sunday, but starting next Sunday, April 11th, we'll be doing Sundays at 1 o'clock. Okay, so hopefully that will work for people. Okay, now when you said yes, Monday, not well, I'm not sure what you're talking about when you said Monday. Oh, Renu, here you are. Okay. Quality might change. I apologize for that. Because I had a microphone plugged in. Wouldn't be to hear you with the microphone plugged in. So it may have affected the audio quality. Renu, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So you said that you had some surgery. Oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer. Yes, Jennifer. Monday for the TTM support session. Okay, Renu. So you said that you had some surgery, and then since that time, you've been experiencing just basically low energy in the lower part of your body.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I ask how long ago you had the surgery?
2013 and 15.
Oh, okay. So it's been a while then.
Yes.
Okay, and ever since you had the first surgery in 2013, you've been experiencing low energy in your legs?
Yes, they messed up whole thing. They had the second surgery in 2015, and since after that, I never been energized. I used to run a lot, just like full of energy. Now I'm just below my level, like 100% down, whatever I was. Like,
Okay, so now the surgery that you had, was it on your legs or anything?
no, it was actually the vaginal prolapse surgery. But what they did the hysterectomy.
Okay.
And then they did it again, first in India, then second time here in USA, like twice. So actually total 3 times.
Okay.
So like my bottom half is just not working with me.
Okay. All right. So let's look at that. And we'll see if we can get you to have some boost of energy there. In terms of right now in your life, when you walk around, do you feel like drained when you're walking? Do your legs feel tired?
Yes, too much tired. Like I hardly can stand like 2 hours straight. I used to like 20 hours straight. I'm just running, jumping, nothing happens to me. But after that, like 2 is the most. After that, like legs get swollen, like it feels lots of pressure. Like I have like a varicose vein started. Like
Mhm.
I don't feel my bottom half, like below my belly button. It's just not there.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and address that. I'm going to do a quick prayer, and I'm just going to do it silently for right now, just because I feel like I can go in a little quicker and a little deeper that way. Okay. All right. So Renu, let's go in and address some of the surgical trauma,
Okay.
as well as any hematomas or scar tissues that were created as a result of that. And uh, in your particular case, when you had the surgeries, actually threw off your meridians. So we want to actually bring your meridians back into alignment. Okay. And we want to strengthen the communication. Uh, we want to strengthen the communication within your central nervous system. Okay. All right. Now, when you think of, you said standing is a way that you end up feeling tired, right?
Standing, and if I do the driving, I like did like 3 4 hour drive straight. Still, my legs were like they feel so much pressurized, like there is like lots of water in my legs. I cannot walk. Like,
Okay. So let's look at the let's look at your circulation. Uh, both blood circulation, yeah, that's an issue. We want to actually help increase that. We want to look at the element of fire that's out of balance. Um, we want to actually increase that by 325%, and also the element of water being out of balance by 290%. Okay. All right. So we want to increase the circulation of your blood, but we also want to increase your energetic circulation. Um, okay. Now, when you think about your legs right now and your lower body in general, how do you feel?
right now, because they were tired since yesterday, and yeah, I'm just sitting there.
Okay, but when you just even when you just think about your legs and you think about standing, how do you feel when you think about that even?
I like look like somebody beat me up real bad.
Okay. All right, so let's see here. I want to go into some resolving some ancestral trauma, particularly with going back 18 generations, particularly of women in your ancestral line. Okay. I want to resolve some things there. And any history or experience of abuse where that's concerned.
Never.
No, I'm not saying with you personally. I'm going back 18 generations of women in your family. Okay. Okay. So there are things, just to kind of speak to this, there are things that show up in our life experience that we have no conscious awareness of whatsoever. And they could be deep ancestral things that took place that end up manifesting in our lives that maybe they weren't able to resolve in their lifetime, that may show up in our lives. And it gives us the opportunity to resolve some of those things. In a way, you could say on their behalf. All right. Now, how does your lower body feel right now?
Right now, I'm feeling light.
You feel light?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Also want to just look at um, anything of an emotional nature connected to the surgery. Any any feelings of sadness or loss connected to that? I want to resolve that and balance out with a sense of peace, acceptance, and wholeness. Okay. So when you think about going walking right now, how do you feel?
I can go. But mostly I just don't. I don't go out of my room at all. Just stay inside.
Okay. All right. But if you were to, if you're thinking about right now, if you were to imagine yourself going for a long walk, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel scared? Does it make you feel nervous? Does it make you feel uh, enthusiastic?
All by myself alone.
Well, it could be with someone else, a friend or whoever.
No, I think right now, if you're asking me at this present moment, I can go and walk.
Okay. All right. So let me look at something else real quickly too. Um, I'll look at any like unresolved fears of any type. Um, Actually, that wasn't really showing up as much of an issue. Well, that's good. Okie dokie. All right, and let's look at just a general sense of resolution regarding feeling a state of being returned to wholeness. Okay. Undoing any loss that was experienced from since the time that you had surgeries, and balancing that out, reconciling all of that. Okay. All right. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling happy looking at you.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling happy. Anything else we can do for you today?
That is so much helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, and many blessings to you, Renu.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you take care now.
Thanks.
All righty. Oh, I see Dr. Andrea has shown up. Hey there, Dr. Andrea. Good to see you in the space today. Wish you well. Is there anybody else that has any type of health situation going on, whether it be a physical health situation, any physical pain that you're experiencing in your body, temple, maybe any anxiety, worry, stress, disappointment, depression, fear, nervousness, anything of the emotional nature, frustration, or any of that, let us know. We're happy to support that. Or if there's just an area where there isn't necessarily anything that you feel like is necessarily going wrong, but maybe something that you just want to boost up, an area that you just may want to take things to the next level, an area where you may want to experience a new level of fulfillment in your life. You know, if you've got anything that you just like to move up to the next level on in your life, please feel free to jot that to drop that into the chat as well, and we'll be more than happy to support you where that's concerned. Okay, and while we're waiting on you to do that, I just want to offer the reminder that no matter what the situation is, no matter how severe or intense it may seem, there's really nothing that's beyond God's ability to heal. Okay, the reality beyond that is that, you are worthy of all of the good that is out there. And there is, as far as your imagination can go, as far as you can possibly stretch your imagination, it doesn't even begin to touch the tip of the surface of what is possible and available in terms of good and blessings. So want to make sure that you all are aware of that. And also, the stuff that I do, I'm blessed to be able to do it. I'm blessed to be able to share it. And there are very many people that I've been blessed to serve as a vessel of healing on their behalf over the years, in the United States and certainly internationally as well. It doesn't require that I travel internationally. I'm in Florida. Renew is in Tennessee, so we're a few hundred miles away. But that doesn't mean anything. We also have distance physically in terms of where any of you all are logged in from, because we're doing this on Facebook and on YouTube. So the reality is that if humans can make a technology that can allow us to reach and touch each other, i.e. the internet, then certainly the originator of existence itself can have a way for us to be able to reach each other and touch each other. Dr. Andre has a question and advice on how to release blockages regarding abundance and prosperity, especially when related to past experiences. Yeah, that's something that we can struggle with sometimes. And the reality is that all blockages that we experience are ultimately tied to us taking on some stuff and some beliefs about ourselves that really ultimately aren't true. That we've taken something in and taken something on that really is not in alignment with what's true and what we're ultimately worthy of. And so, now, were you wanting some support in this area or just a quick question, Dr. Andrea? Okay, I see okay, Dulcie, I guess that's you. Okay, somebody's posting from apparently the Transcending the Matrix group. I don't know if that's Jennifer. Looks like somebody's posting on Dulcie's behalf. Okay, so we'll offer some support there. Okay, so let's do a little bit where Dr. Andre is concerned. Okay, so let me look at the DNA real quickly, and in terms of history of limiting belief systems. You know what? I'm gonna throw us all in here for this one. Dr. Andrea brought it up, but we're gonna actually include all of us on this one in terms of limiting beliefs regarding wealth, prosperity, abundance, ease, and grace in terms of freedom to do things that money typically requires. Okay. And regarding that, we're going to actually rewrite any limiting belief systems regarding money, any limiting programming concerning finances, abundance, wealth, prosperity. But let's go to get to where some of that stuff originated from. So we're going to go through the idea that we're able to connect with other people based on our victimhood. So we want to actually rewrite that programming. Okay. And stand more fully in our power and feel completely free to stand fully and authentically in our power. Okay. All right. And limiting belief systems about how spiritual we can be if we do have a sense of financial freedom. Okay. Rewrite the idea that that money is equated to evil. Okay. Now, there's definitely a lot of evil stuff that's been done in order for people to get money, where they were totally disregarding the needs of others or how that would impact other people. But that's not what we're talking about. We want to detach from money being evil in that sense and align with being able to draw an abundance and in a way that is not in conflict with our spiritual principles, and to still be able to stand in a sense of spiritual integrity. All right? Okay. Okay, Dr. Andre, when you think about prosperity right now, how do you feel right now? Also, let me look at real quick, ancestral trauma. That's huge. And all kinds of programming about having to work for free in terms of within the ancestral lineage, and clearing away that psychic trauma. Okay, transmuting that into a sense of true freedom in every way imaginable. Okay, all right, feeling happy, absolutely wonderful, fabulous. Okay, and Dulcie, let's look at your heart, Dulcie. Okay. All right. So let's address that. And Dulcie put out there, but we're going to actually open this up for everybody who's experiencing that, some form of heartache or their heart hurting. We're going to allow everybody to be able to receive benefit from this as well. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go back in time a little bit. Hopefully we're still connected. My feed seemed like it disappeared. Hopefully it's still going. All right. So let's look at we're going to look at emotions. Okay, I'm glad it's still going. Thank you. I'll look at emotions, but let's look feelings of disappointment, transmuting that into acceptance, feeling of grace. feeling of um, okay, a lot of things I'm looking at aren't actually showing up as an issue. Let's see what. Okay, I want to actually look at the brain, and more specifically the amygdala. Okay, which is a very primal part of the brain. And I want to look at the amygdala and the hippocampus in terms of things being triggered from the past. Even from childhood, and let's resolve some of those childhood things. Okay. Any type of emotional turmoil that that felt was caused by other people's behaviors or even lack thereof. And any belief from that of being unworthy of love, undeserving of love, or repelling love in any way. I'm going to resolve all of that. The awareness of actually being love. Which actually has nothing to do with emotions, which is a weird thing. Unconditional love has nothing to do with emotions. This is just something that's just coming up. Some resistance coming up. It's really just unconditional acceptance. Sometimes some pain is felt along the way of that journey, though. All righty. So that's like realigning the heart and the mind, the heart and the mind with one another in communication. Along with the creator cell at the base of the spine. For spiritual mastery. Not to get there, but being there. Okay? Okay, when I turn on the all clear signal in the brain, clear the scratch on the record, open up new neural pathways for bliss. Okay. Dulcie, how you feeling? And well, I guess it may be that I'm assuming that may be Jennifer that's responding on Dulcie's behalf. If you could let us know. Hopefully that should be at least a little bit better. All right. I want to real quickly too. Something that's coming up is collective consciousness of humanity. Connected to some of the ill things that happen in the world. and its collective impact on the heart of humanity. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer, presumably Jennifer. Okay. All righty. And this is interesting. This has never come up for me in this way before. When I look at the empath's curse, okay? And what I mean by that, not that somebody has put a hex on an empath. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that sometimes those of us who are empaths experience it as a blessing and as a curse because it can feel difficult to deal with. So we want to transmute that into observing without absorbing. And still, like the dung beetle, transmuting into something of greater value. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Thank you, God. All right. Oh, Dulcie says, I'm feeling blissful with a residual ache in ribs on left mahalo. Okie dokie. All right. So let's forgive me for having to ask the question. Are you saying the left ribs, the ribs on the left side of the body? Yeah, I agree about the empath, like a double-edged sword. Okay, so let me look at this. Look at the rib thing. All righty. We're going to deal with the rewriting the narrative of creation. Okay. And the sense of separation between the masculine, between man and woman, or even better put, the masculine and the feminine. Okay. Both are feeling completely in alignment and harmonious and empowered, fully awakened and empowered. Okay, what's your left? What's it feeling like on the left side and the ribs right now? If you could share that with us. And if you can give us a number in terms of where that discomfort or where that ache is on a 0 to 10 scale. Okay. And while we're waiting on you to do that, okay. Okay. All righty. Okay. All right. So went from a 10 level of discomfort, a 10 down to a 3. So we're looking at about a 3 right now. Okie dokie. So Okay. Sometimes I'll say stuff out loud. Sometimes I can just go into it quicker without words. Okay, so you got stuff just moving around, don't see, huh? Okay. All righty. So let's see. What kind of stuff is hiding behind you that wants to hang out in your blind side? What kind of unconscious, unresolved stuff? Okay, we want to bring the subconscious in alignment with superconscious state. And complete healing to the wounded warrior. Complete restoration to the wounded warrior. Okay, heart feels open. Glad to hear that. That's good news. All right, so what about the back area now? The dorsal hinge. We want to also offer complete freedom of movement, completely free range of motion as well. And then I have to get going in a moment because I got a meeting. Okie dokie. Alrighty. Let's really just kind of deal with just general alignment. The things that to where the things that are behind you nor the things in front of you can hurt you any longer, nor anything present. Nothing to the right of you or to the left of you can hurt you, nor anything right where you are. Nothing from the inside or the outside can hurt you. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Dulcie. Okay. All right. So I better get going. I've got a meeting that I need to get to and another one after that. But it's as every week. Hold on. I just want to take a moment and give thank you, God, for the opportunity to be able to bear witness to the healing that you've made manifest on the behalf of these beautiful souls today. Thank you for the light that has been present in this space during our time together, and for being so gracious as to allow me to be able to participate in this. Really, there's only one of us that's here. We just are operating in different bodies. Thank you for allowing us to be able to extend to one another in the spirit of love, and for all of the healing that has been made manifest in this place today. We give great thanks and we affirm it is done. It is done. It is done. Okay. So I'm going to need to get going right now, but we will be back, not this coming Wednesday, but Sunday, April 11th at 1 o'clock p.m. We're going to be moving from Wednesday at 1 to Sunday at 1. Actually, I will be speaking this Sunday from Reverend Shahira Stevens' page. And You're very, 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 very welcome. My pleasure. I love you all. It's been my pleasure to be with you. If you feel like this is something that you want to contribute to, uh, there's a Cash App that's in the link for this. You know, if you're interested in some training, we're more than happy to offer the training. I don't want to be alone doing this stuff. And Jennifer and Dulce, you can do this just as well as I can, whether you want to believe it or not. You can do this just as well as I can. Anybody can do this stuff that I do. The same stuff that's in me is in you too. I've just been doing it a long time, but anybody can do it just as well as me. Just as soon as going through the training. Okay. All right. So I'm going to need to get going. Many blessings be with you. Bountiful, bright blessings shower you on your path, filling your cup to the point of running over so that it spills on everybody you come in contact with, leaving a drop of heaven behind wherever you go. God bless you. I love you, and I'll see you soon.